Who am I? Short answer is, I'm nobody. But I guess I can tell you a thing or two about the guy whose voice you're listening to. I'm 28 years old, almost 29, and although I'm not that old, life has already provided me quite good understanding of how reality works. And I realize it makes no sense for me to hold this knowledge alone. So Paradise Planet is a way for me to teach you guys everything that I learned, and I'm not gonna charge anything. Yep, you heard that right. It's going to be for free. I'm not here to sell horses or anything. Now, a bit about me. I became an atheist around 13 or 14 years old, and that lasted until December 2023 when...
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
By far, the craziest experience I had in my whole life has happened. And I guess it was what people call a spiritual awakening, or at least the beginning of one. The only way I can describe it is everything changed after that. It was like I grew up thinking the world was one way, and then, in a single strike, that vision was shattered. Suddenly, I was seeing things so clearly, it felt like I had been asleep 24/7 before that. For almost 3 months, I lived with the ability to see this world from a higher place, a place of understanding. When I looked at anything, people, situations, decisions, I instantly knew what was happening and why. It was like seeing behind the curtains of reality. Everything became easier. I started to have a strange kind of luck. People, things, and situations were drawn to me in a good way, with no effort. I felt like the universe was bending in my favor. What I was experiencing was real power. I'm not gonna lie, I felt superhuman. And that was basically my mistake, because I thought that I could do anything, that everything was so under my control that nothing bad could ever happen. But that's not how the universe works. You've probably heard what Uncle Ben said.
With great power comes great responsibility.
That's actually one of the fundamental truths of this reality. Nothing happens by chance. I went from the heights of understanding to rock bottom hell of emotional suffering. Maybe I'll tell that story later. But it felt like in one of those old games where you lose all your lives and you have to start again from level 1. I've had many lows in my life for a long time, but this time it was different, because this time I learned something really important. There is something bigger. Every single piece of existence in this entire universe springs from a source. The almighty source of all that there is, God. And guess what? You can connect yourself to the source. That's where real power comes from. You need to cultivate a relationship with God, and God indeed communicates with you every single day. But if you can't see it, there's a chance you might have strayed far from your natural path and became so surrounded by darkness that you're not even able to see who you truly are. But don't worry, after a full year paying for my debts, grinding through a bleak world, relentlessly searching, and the true inner work, I found my way back, and now I can teach you how to do the same. So why am I doing this? Well, we can say that this world is pretty much binary in every single aspect, but we can resume it like this. You can do things your way, or you can do things God's way. And I have faith that what I'm doing right here, right now, is what I must do to keep walking God's way. How do I know that? Because every single thing that happened in my life culminated in me being here with resources and a whole vision of what I need to do, and immeasurable joy in doing so. Also, because I truly believe we are the first generation in history with the potential for mass awakening. It even looks like it's already happening. And if it is, together, we can shift the course of this world by collapsing the future into the best possible version of planet Earth, a real paradise. Before you judge me as delusional, hear this. It's been quite a while since many great names from science have been getting closer to the fundamental truths of reality. I could name several of them, but let me give you just one that's currently alive. Not only because it perfectly illustrates how we can change the world, but also because he's definitely an awakened person. Federico Faggin. He's an Italian physicist, engineer, inventor, and entrepreneur. He's the man who designed the first commercial microprocessor, the Intel 4004. That little piece of technology launched humanity into the digital revolution we are currently living in right now. Do you understand what that means? This guy, together with his team, helped to collapse the future we now call the present. And if you pay close attention to history, you will notice that human progress was marked by individuals who shined such a bright light that they changed the course of the world. It's a chain reaction. Federico wouldn't have created the microprocessor if not for those who came before him. Each person who pierces the veil reaches a fragment of truth, and by sharing it with others, ends up triggering the next link in the chain, which starts to rapidly unfold in a new future. That's the power of truth. Science has always been about the search for truth, but the mistake was assuming that physical reality is all that there is. That belief led to the assumption that we could one day explain everything with math.
Forget about it.
But then quantum mechanics came along. Suddenly, math wasn't enough anymore. And what else? What else can we explain with math? Consciousness, feelings, free will. Those very things, the unquantifiable, are what spiritual masters have been trying to teach us since the dawn of time. Quantum mechanics is the missing link between science and spirituality, and for that, I'd like to quote Faggin himself. How can you explain consciousness with math when it is consciousness that created math? You see where this is going, right? So, how can we possibly understand God if it was God that created us? The truth is, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. Those are not my words, those are Jesus Christ's words. Only God can give you that understanding. I can give you answers, but for those answers to mean something, you need to establish a relationship with God. You might be wondering, how do I do that? Don't worry, the first series on this channel will guide you step by step through everything you need to know, practice, and understand to reconnect with the Almighty Source. And that's how we change the world. Because once you reconnect with the Source, you will start doing what God wants you to do, and God only leads us to the best possible outcome. So now that you know what this channel is about, here's a little spoiler. Everything I'll teach is grounded in spiritual texts such as the Buddha teachings, the Tao Te Ching, the Bible, and above all, the greatest master who has ever walked this earth, Jesus Christ. And for those who think they already understand Christ's message, but their lives are not filled with joy, love, abundance, and peace, then you should think twice, because maybe you haven't understood a single word. That's not a judgment, it's just how twisted this world became. Because your minds are trapped in a materialistic view of the world. I'll help you by presenting those teachings from a logical and practical perspective. From this point on, I'm dedicating my life to this mission. If you're interested, just subscribe and wait for the lessons to come. And I must say that I do have enough resources to keep this going for a while without needing a job. But if you like the lessons and it helps you, and most importantly, you feel like supporting it, you will be able to leave a donation. I haven't yet figured out how to receive international donations legally in my country, but I will have by the time the first lesson drops. And as I'm writing this script, I still can't say exactly when that will be, because I'm doing this all by my own. I'm learning how to edit videos and how to craft them. I don't have much previous experience in doing that, so those things take a little bit of time. But I guess that's it for now, and I'll see you guys on lesson number 1.